Once again, this is Ohio prisoner Jason Goodlock, old law inmate. I've been incarcerated since 1993 for the crimes of aggravated robbery and felonious assault. I'm a subject, as many of you who have been following know, I'm a subject of the feature-length documentary Invisible Chest, the Jason Goodlock story. I also recently released the spoken word album, 2 months from Marcy, A Prisoner's Plea to Jay-Z. Specifically, I released the album to try to generate some much-needed attention for the documentary, which basically it severely underperformed. But I'm trying to get the word out about sentencing disparity within the Ohio prison system. It's similar to the crack cocaine versus powder cocaine sentencing disparity that existed in the federal prison system for many years. With this being said, like I said, I have a documentary out, the feature length, and I'm trying to generate the support of the public as well as some influential personalities to advocate on my behalf as well as others. With this being said, being that Brittany Griner once upon a time spoke out about my comment that I made, the comment that I made about LeBron James that was taken out of context. But, considering all that she's been through, being incarcerated in Russia, along with the fact of her being a lesbian woman, a person has been discriminated against herself, as well as, the LGBTQ community. I'll say this, and as a showing of solidarity, I want to ask that her community, as well as the hip-hop community, the sports world, everybody, I want to ask them collectively if they can watch my documentary, listen to my album, share it, post comments about it, and just spread the word. I mean, because, this is the only way that something's going to get done. And if we continue to share the word, what's going on. Like, if you look at the injustice with the juvenile offender, I believe her name was Santonia Brown, I believe. She, a young lady that was incarcerated. She was being abused as a juvenile, and she, ended up defending herself, and she got sentenced to a bunch of years in prison. Her story, it came to the attention of Kim Kardashian as well as LeBron James. And LeBron James and Kim Kardashian, they were able to advocate for Ms. Brown, and this eventually led to her being free. So with that being said, with my situation, I'm just seeking to do the same thing. I knew the same thing, done with my situation, Now, before somebody can, advocate for me, they need to learn about my situation, which is understandable. But, this is why I'm making these recordings, and I'm asking people to, watch the film. Like I said, it's a feature-length documentary. This went to the Greater Cleveland Urban Film Festival. Of course, I would have loved it if it could have landed in, maybe the Sundance Film Festival or Tribeca or something of that nature, but it didn't. But nevertheless, I have to continue and keep fighting, and striving for, my justice. So, with that being said, I said I like to, I ask it is, once again, the hip-hop community, the sports world, the Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ community, Brittany Griner, contingency support. I'd like to ask collectively, if everyone, could just please support me. I've been in 30 years. This is entirely too long. I got things that I would like to do in life. Specifically, I would like to be a motivational speaker. I would like to incorporate my basketball skills, which I still have. They have not diminished. Of course, they have to an extent, but I'm still able to do a lot of slam dunks. I can do 360 reverses. I would like to use my talents as a way to tell my cautionary story and reach out to the youth and try to get them to focus and not go down the destructive path that I went down. That led me to messing up my basketball career, but I still feel that, I can still accomplish a lot in life, though. Even at my age, I'm 48 right now, but I don't feel that my life is over with. As a matter of fact, I actually would like to have another documentary done. I came up with the working title Sankofa, Sankofa, which is a Swahili word that means go back and get it. Like I said, I still feel that I have a lot left in the tank, and I feel...
You have 1 minute remaining.
I feel that I can use my athletic ability to tell my story and just, do some good and bring people together, but I need to be given a chance, We often hear that, America, this is a country about second chances. But, here it is, I haven't been given a second chance. John Hinckley, the individual who shot Ronald Reagan, the President of the United States, as well as shot some of his aides. This individual has been released. He's been given a second chance. I'm asking, for the same thing. I just want the opportunity, to do some good with my life. Yes, like, as I was saying, I have goals and, still have, dreams and, things that I would like to do, things that I would like to pursue if I could be given the chance, basketball, that's something that is something that's dear to me, something that I've done growing up. I've never reached my potential, due to not being focused and getting in trouble. But today, like I said, I still feel that I have a lot of ability, that I would like to showcase. And I feel that, my story is a story that I feel that could go right up there on par with something like the Lloyd Daniels story, which is a story about a black man from New York who he never graduated high school. He never never played a day in college, but nevertheless, he still, he made it to the NBA. So it's a phenomenal story. It was a phenomenal accomplishment what Lloyd James was able to do. Now, with me, of course, I get it. I'm not going to be playing for in the NBA, but I still see myself as being able to partake and play in some pro-am tournaments, just as a way to showcase my talent to the world and show the kids and youth, like, this is what I could have done, and I want to be able to show them how I was able to maintain and keep myself together over a course of 30 years. So, I still feel like, to some degree, I feel that I can wow the world, from a basketball perspective. But, like I say, I need to be given this chance, just to give you, the listener an idea of how real this is with me. I had a cellmate once upon a time, a guy named Ray Austin from my hometown city, Cleveland, Ohio. Matter of fact, he lived about 5 minutes from me. Now, this particular person, he was a boxer. He sparred with Mike Tyson, and he wanted to box. So when we were selling out in correctional institution years ago, we would talk, and we would talk about our hopes and dreams in the sports world. I would tell them that I wanted to get out and still, try to play basketball, and he would talk about boxing. Well, as fate would have it, he ended up getting out, and he went and he boxed on a show called Thunderbox, approximately about 15 years ago, out in Las Vegas. So, Ray, also known as the Rain Man, Ray Austin, he wound up becoming a replacement fighter for a fight that they had at Quicken Loans Arena around 2006, 2007. Make a long story short, Ray, he won the fight. He wound up beating the number one contender and one of the sanctioning bodies at that time. And this led to him getting an actual title shot against one of the Klitschko's. Matter of fact, that's the mayor, the brother of the mayor over in Ukraine. So, I always think about that, when I see these headlines of the war over in Ukraine. They show the Klitschko brothers, and it always, makes me just say, wow. I remember the time when, me and the Rain Man, we used to sit in the cell, we used to shadow box with each other, and he was telling how and he was going to become the heavyweight champion of the world. And although, he fell short of doing that, nevertheless, he still got that title shot. So, I know, I say that to say, I know what a person can do if they're dedicated and they're committed and, they want to do something. I know that it can be done. I have people that, they view me, they look at me, some people think I'm delusional, I got my head in the clouds, and, I'll tell them individuals, okay, well, you might not be able to do something, but don't think that I can't do it, just because you doubt yourself, I know what I'm able to do. Like, I know that I'm not going to become the president of the United States. I'm not going to become an astronaut, but, I still have a lot of ability in that basketball arena. So, with that being said, like I said, I just want an opportunity, get out and like I said, to use my talents and try to, help the youth, and at the same time, I might just find a way to leverage that into a career for myself. But it starts with me getting the right person on board, to look into my story, to support my documentary. Like I don't want a person to just take my word. Like I want a person to be skeptic, but like I tell people all the time, all the evidence, everything, it's in the film. The proof is in the film. I'm not a victim. I don't see myself as a victim. Like I'm not looking for sympathy like that. But at the same time, I've been wrong. To this day, I've been wrong. And, although I did commit crimes, I broke the law. There's no reason that I should be still in prison this long. I've done my time. I didn't even do all the crimes that I'm incarcerated for, but that's another story. But, at this particular time, when criminal justice reform is a hot topic, when we're seeing protests in the headlines, we're seeing people advocating to reform the system. We're seeing this on a regular basis, daily. I feel this is the time right now for me to receive the justice that I'm seeking. But I can only do so much by myself. I'm only one person, and I am a person that puts forth a maximum effort. As they say, I go hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a slacker. I'm not a procrastinator. But at the same time, like I said, I can only do so much. I've done a lot. I'm simply seeking, a person's input. I think a lot of people, entertainers, athletes, I think they don't even realize the power of their voice. People's voices are, powerful. They have a lot of influence. Like, take the instance with Brittany Griner, like before she was released. Dennis Rodman had offered to help her, and he offered to go over to Russia. And then you had people that came out of nowhere saying, no, Dennis, don't do this, don't do that. You might mess it up for her, right? And I guess to an extent, I kind of understood their concern as far as him not being a seasoned diplomat, right? But I also understood, where he was coming from. He had a voice. Now, you take a person like me, for instance. I would love to have Dennis Rodman's voice. I would love to have him advocating for me. You see what I'm saying? This is a person who's made ties and connections with, people in all walks of life. He has an influential voice. He might not have a direct line, to the president, but, he's not a commoner. When he speaks, people listen. So with that being said, it would do me a great service to, have someone with a voice like that, whether it's an athlete, a rapper, an actor, an actress, a radio personality. People's voices are powerful. And, I'm just, an individual, I've done my part. And like I say, I'm seeking to see this project all the way through. I'm the type of person, when I set out to do something, I don't set out to not get the job done. There's a song back in the day by Big Daddy Kane called, Ain't No Half Stepping, right? I'm not a half stepper. When I do things, I set out to get them done, to finish them. So, This is where I'm at right now. I'm seeking to utilize this film, take this film and utilize it to get prisoners justice in Ohio, man. I mean, we're being wronged by this parole board being under this old law. Like, I'm sure some of the people on the parole that's on the parole board, they don't, they probably don't get up thinking, well, hey, I got to keep Jason Goodlock in prison. But, nevertheless, I'm in here, man, and I've been wrong, and the evidence of that, like I say, it's in the public domain, and I feel a person that is someone that's a person that's working for the government. You work for the state government. I feel that you are obligated.
You have 1 minute remaining.
They're obligated to do the right thing. They should want to correct these type of injustices that exist. They shouldn't, sit back and want to see a person being over incarcerated, to the degree in which I've been over incarcerated. But with that said, this phone call is about to end. Like I said, I'm reaching out to the sports world, the hip hop community. I got the album 216, The Marcy of Prisoners, plea to Jay-Z, but this is a plea to everybody. And any other entertainer or rapper, The Game, whoever, 50 Cent, anyone that wants to get involved, I need your support.